Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking, and welcome back to Tang Airline Flight 1990. Let's clock in. Hope you guys have your running shoes on, because today we are doing a lot of walking around Chicago. I'd like to give a big shout out to the Platinum Premier Plus members for choosing Tang Airline. And guys, welcome to the Millennium Park here. We are going to walk around the streets of Chicago, going to check out a few things up close in person. And in front of us is the water fountain, which unfortunately is not working. As you can see, it's frozen, so it must be pretty cold here in Chicago. But it typically, I mean, the fountain probably could have done better here, but it's not flowing. But besides the point here, guys, just look at the scenery here at the ground level. Look at all these buildings here. And like I mentioned, we are starting off at Millennium Park, a park that was open on July 16th, 2004. Just like New York has their Central Park, Chicago has their own park here. Originally, it's called Garden of Arts, but they decided not to go with it. And the park here, originally planned, is supposed to be like big, but no, now that the park has been built, the park is actually smaller than originally planned. And Lollapalooza is held here, so a lot of events is held here. This is where it takes place. Enjoy the frozen water fountain. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to witness one of the most famous landmark here in Millennium Park here. It is called the Cloud Gate, aka the Bean. And here it is. This is what everyone comes here to look at. This bean here, which is inspired by liquid mercury. Now, it's very reflective, but you can tell here it's not really doing much justice because there's not a reflection. There's supposed to be a reflection of the, the skyscrapers. So the skyscraper is behind us, but there is nothing here. It's not reflecting anything. But this one here, guys, gets washed 2 times a day, and twice a year it gets cleaned by 40 gallons of liquid detergent. The Bean. This is what makes, I guess, it special here. Not sure why it's special, but it is special here. When people take pictures of Chicago, most likely they're gonna take a picture of here too. As we walking through Millennium Park here, it is the second most visited tourist attraction here, and the parking garage is actually underground of this whole entire park here. And right now, what we're witnessing here is the J. Pritzker Pavilion. A capacity of 11,000 here. Concerts held here. Oprah Winfrey held here. You can have a concert here. People can sit in the back here. And then there is seats in the front. The seat is flat. That's very unfortunate. The sound system here is first of its kind. It's supposed to mimic an acoustic indoor concert hall. Now, I don't know how they do that, but apparently they can. And let's go ahead and step on stage so you guys could get a better feel for what it's like performing here. And this is what it looks like when you out here looking at fans here. You're performing. This is it. Well, that is the Millennium Park. It's time for us to continue our trip. Our next stop here is Soldier Field, the oldest NFL stadium and the second smallest, with a capacity of 61,500. And to put that in perspective, guys, when we went to see MetLife in person, MetLife is 82,500 capacity, and this one here is only 61,500. So MetLife has about 20,000 more seats than Soldier Field. And as we take a look at the stadium, concerts held here. A lot of events is held here. the home of the Chicago Bears. Now, you know, Chicago Bears might be moving their stadium. This might not be the Bears' home stadium much further, you know. But this is Soldier Field here. It was renovated in 2003. And even with the renovation, it's still the smallest. And up here is the highest seat possible here. If you're sitting all the way in the top here, this is what your view will look like. Whether it's football, whether it's concert, this is the view. You can see Lake Michigan right over the stadium. This is our first time looking at United Center in person. The last two videos we done here, I didn't even mention about United Center at all. But I think on this last tour here, as we walk in the streets of Chicago, it's time to actually just look at the stadium here, or should I say an arena. It is the largest arena in North America with 950,000 square feet. The nickname, the Madhouse Madison 2, is the second one because the original one is the Chicago Stadium, but it got destroyed already. And also the other nickname is called the House That Jordan Built. Completed in 1994 with a capacity of 23,500. And as we get closer, which is not doing much justice here. Now, United Center, the east side of the building, it used to have the Jordan statue. But since the renovation happened, they moved the statue now. So the statue is no longer outside, it's actually in the building now. And unfortunately, we cannot see it. But looking at here, it's supposed to be cars. Looks like we're in a junkyard right now. This building in front of us right here is the expansion they did. So the Jordan statue is in there somewhere. The streets are a little messed up here, but you can see the Willis Tower. Walking through downtown here, we have to make sure there's no cars crossing. They might run us over here. Now we shouldn't, you know, in reality, we shouldn't get this close to the ground unless you're crashing here. But here in Tang Airline, I think you guys are gonna have one of probably the best experience ever. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 4th tallest building in Chicago. This one here, it is called the Aon Center. Now, when you look at the outside build of this, doesn't this building remind you of another building? It has a similar build to the original World Trade Center. Now, this building here was built between 1970 and 1974. Upon completion, it was the tallest building in Chicago, surpassing John Hancock by 8 feet. But shortly after its completion, it gets surpassed by the Willis Tower, aka Sears Tower here. And yes, the build here does have a similar build to the original World Trade Center. The height of this bad boy here is 1,136 feet. It has 83 floors. When I was doing a research on this building here, I read that they're possibly thinking doing having a observatory deck at the roof of this building, at the rooftop. Unlike any other observatory deck here in Chicago, like the John Hancock or the Willis Tower here, you know, those two tower, the observation deck is like, you know, somewhere in the almost top of the floor here. But they plan on here to have it at the roof, like at the rooftop, just kind of like how the original South Tower was, World Trade Center. And this building here was the tallest building without an antenna up until 2007, when it was surpassed by Shanghai World Financial Center here. Just standing here looking at it, damn, that's tall. You can see the moon though. I feel like this building has been ignored a lot because most of the time people just either talk about the Willis Tower or the John Hancock, and nobody really talks about this one. Chicago rests on top of a 234 square mile. It is the 3rd largest city in Chicago with a population of 2.7 million. Now, to put that in perspective, New York City, which is the largest city in the US, has a population of 8 million. And Chicago is only 2.7 1.7 million. And it has the largest CTA system in the US, providing more than 450 million transportation. The next building we're looking at is the tallest residential building here in Chicago. It is the St. Regis. As you can see, the architecture, it looks like a stairway, but this bad boy here was completed in 2020. It has 101 stories, 393 condos, and 192 rooms. Upon building this skyscraper here, originally the name for this would have been the Vista Tower, but once it's the official name for it, once they completed, it's St. Regis. It has a height of 1,196 feet. There's a millionaire that purchased an entire floor almost at the top of this building here, knocked down all the walls, and now they have an entire 360 view of Chicago here. Back in October 8th of 1887, the Great Chicago Fire broke out here. And still to this day, people don't exactly know why or what caused the fire to happen, to start. But they know that it started from a barn southwest of the city. The fire burned for more than 24 hours. And the rain is what put the fire out. So if it wasn't for the rain, who knows how long the fire would have been going for, you know? But that fire burned 17,500 homes, leaving 1/3 of the population homeless, and killed about 300 people. Now only 120 bodies has ever been recovered, so no rest of the body has yet to be recovered. And the fire burned for more than 4 miles long and 1 mile wide. And now look at Chicago now. Looking here, you would never thought that a fire would happen here. You guys probably heard of the Chicago Spire, a mega skyscraper that was supposed to be built here in around 2007, but it never completed and it got canceled. That mega tower would have been the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, with a height of 2,000 feet. Now they started this build in 2007. They built the foundation, they made it whole, and then they canceled the plan. Now, I'm not exactly sure why they canceled it. Maybe the funds. But now, to this day, there is just a hole there. And we're going to go ahead and check out that hole. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the hole here. That's supposed to be the Chicago Spire. And 150 floors. 2,000 feet tall, mega skyscraper that would have changed the skyline of Chicago, but that has never been completed. And this is just the foundation. Still to this day, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with it, but that is the foundation. This is where the building would have lied. It would have been close to the Navy Pier over there. I really hope you guys enjoyed our little tour right now. We got a lot of walking to do, But up next, we are walking towards the tallest building in Chicago here. As you can see, the sun peeling through here. Guys, that is the Willis Tower. Or actually, it's still called the Sears Tower here. Now, people here in Chicago still call it Sears Tower, even though the official name is Willis Tower. It was the tallest building for 25 years. We're getting closer and closer, looking up. We're looking up. And there it is. Would you look at this monster building here? As you can see, just looking at it, it's built on like 9 different tubes here. You can kind of see the different tubes here, but this building is 75 feet by 75 feet. So each tube is like 25 feet long. I'm just admiring the building here. The tallness of this building. The king of Chicago, practically. Let's go inside. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sky deck here. This game has the observatory deck here, at the Willis Tower. And this is what it looks like looking south. Wow. Now, like, I'm surprised this game actually have an observatory floor for us to actually walk in, because this is what it looks like here. Now, I don't know what happened this side. We're supposed to be able to see on this side, but we can't. But don't worry, Tang Airline got you guys. We're just gonna peek our head through to the east side, and boom. This is the east side here, guys. The Willis Tower, I'm sorry, Sears Tower has a height of 1,451 feet, and then 2 antennas above the roof. We count that, a total height of 1,730 feet. From this angle here, you can see the Millennium Park. You could see the Aeon Center, and on a clear day, you could see 4 different states: Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Michigan. This building here took the record from the World Trade Center as the tallest building in the world. Now, remember, the roof height of the World Trade Center and the One World Trade Center is 1,368 feet. And the Sears Tower is 1,451 feet. So roof height, yeah, Sears Tower is taller, but the One World Trade Center has a spiral, which counts, and not an antenna, which surpassed the Willis Tower as the tallest building when it was completed in 2014 from the One World Trade Center. And this is the glass box here. This glass box here is 3.5 inches thick, where you could stand in the box and look directly down. And that is what we're gonna do here. You can see the United Center out here, but we're in the deck. We're in the glass box right now. And we could look down, and this is what directly down looks like in the skybox. Now, in the past, the glass has cracked before, and supposedly is due to someone wearing high heels, I've heard. Now, I don't know if that's true, but yeah, the floor has been cracked, and nobody has fallen yet, you know? But that is the sky deck here, looking directly down on a clear day here. We are facing that was the west side, the south side. We haven't faced the north side yet, and this is the north side here. You can see, look at the other building over here, John Hancock here. Guys, this is the Willis Tower and its own observatory deck right here. The name here speaks for itself. Trump International Hotel and Tower. A luxury condo that was completed in 2009. And this one here is the second tallest building here in Chicago due to the spire on top of the building here. It has a height of 1,171. And we count the antennas, or I'm sorry, the spiral. It is 1,388 feet. A 98-story building with 486 luxury condos and 339 hotels. And it is right along the Chicago River. Just admire the beauty here. We actually go across here. We should probably go across. Hello, semi truck. How you doing? We're moving almost as fast as the semi truck here. Walking along the edge, peeking through, standing here, looking over the Chicago River. We are walking along the Michigan Avenue. A lot of shopping center here. This is like the spot right here. You can see TJ Maxx and Marshall over here. Yeah, this is where big shopping areas at. Let's try to not get hit here. And we're walking along the Michigan Avenue because we are here to see the 875 North Michigan Avenue. That is the official name of this building here. The name that we all know known this building for is John Hancock. And as we walk in here, you see some stores you might like. Not sure you guys see any stores you guys like here, but this is we're still walking along here. And we finally get to peek at John Hancock here. That building right here, completed in 1969. Outside New York at the time, this is the first building to have to be over 1,000 feet, because the first building is actually the Empire State Building. And this one here was the second tallest building in the world, but now it is the 5th tallest building in Chicago. It has a height of 1,128 feet. Now we count the antenna, that is 1,500 feet tall. It has 100 stories. And as we get closer to it, you will see like an X on the building. Hopefully you can see it right here. Yes, do you see the X on this building here? Each X is 18 floors. All the X right there is 18 floors. And at the top of it, like around the 94th floor, there is a observatory deck called Chicago 360. But we were at the Willis Tower sky deck, and Willis Tower is taller, so we get the higher better view than the John Hancock. It also has a very luxury restaurant called the Signature Room. That room though, no, it's expensive, and I heard the food kind of sucks. But you basically go there just for the view, pretty much. As we get closer. Right here is John Hancock. Been here a couple times. Really enjoyed the Chicago 360 view. And it has a Cheesecake Factory here that I stopped by and I ate. Too bad there's no deck. I mean, too bad there's no observatory we go into. They didn't have it in this game, you know. But good thing they have it for the Willis Tower. I mean, it's the Sears Tower though, you know. And the sun is settling. Sun is going down. As the sun is going down, we made our way to the Navy Pier, which is the most visited tourist attraction here in Chicago. It is built on top of a 20,000 logs that was imported from Oregon. And here is the famous Ferris wheel at Navy Pier. This Ferris wheel here was installed on May of 2016. Now, this is the new Ferris wheel. The old Ferris wheel was shorter, only 150 feet, where the new one here is 196 feet. It's not the tallest in the world, but it is, you know, a nice improvement, I guess you could say. During the summer here, this is where a lot of banger stuff happened in here. You know, you have the air show here, the water show, the fireworks. This is where it takes place here. And the pier is 3,300 feet long and 292 feet wide. It is completed back in 1916. That cost $4.5 million. And we're zooming by the pier real quick here because it's getting dark. Back in August of 1941, this entire pier was closed to the public due to the Navy training. And guys, this is the end of the pier right here. Look at that. Look at the sunset here. Look at the skyscrapers here in Chicago. Boats. Got some boat tour here. Just look at this. Nice view actually. Nice view. And it's nice because the sun is setting, you know. We started our tour here during the evening or during the afternoon, and now the sun is going down. But one thing on this pier though, they have a nice tour called the Architecture Tour, which is a boat that takes you along the Chicago River, and the guide tells you the story or the history of Chicago. But don't you worry, guys. Here at Tang Airline, I'm giving you guys my own version of Architectural Tour. Let's go take a look at the Ferris wheel though in person here. It is spinning, so it's not frozen like the water fountain in the Millennium Park here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tang Airline version of the Architectural Tour. We are gonna go through the Chicago River. Get your camera phones out and everything. This is where you want to take picture of Chicago. Ignore the little glitch here. That's okay. We're not supposed to go down this low, but it's okay here. And here it is. Down. We're on the Chicago River, and we're going through You can see the two antennas, the John Hancock here. You can see the St. Regis Tower here. The Trump Tower. This is, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty amazing at night here. See the Aeon right here. So the Chicago River is 156 miles long. And it is the only river in the world that is flowing inland, not outland, inland. And what I mean by flowing inland is that typically, because Lake Michigan is out there, typically the river flows from Chicago River out to Lake Michigan. But in this case, it's Lake Michigan flowing to Chicago River. And the reason why they do that, well, it is man-made, but the reason why, the river flow this way is trying to keep the Lake Michigan from not polluting. And that is because in 1885 there was a huge storm that polluted Lake Michigan. So in 1900 they built a canal, and that canal made the water flow inland instead of outland, and since then that's how they kind of kept it. They kept it like that, flowing through here. Now the deepest part of the river is only 21 feet. Look at this building right here. Look at how they built this. Look at this. They have that garage. You see those at the lower part right here? It's a parking garage right here. Now imagine living here. Imagine living here and have this type of view. Man, you're rich. You are rich when you do that. We're still going through the river here. And here on St. Patrick Day, the entire river here is dyed in color green. And that's a tradition that they've been doing, and they've been doing that for every single year here. And look at this unique building right here. Oh, this building here looks like a Pop-Tart, by the way. Kind of like a Pop-Tart, but this building here, look at this building here. Look how the base is very thin, and yet it doesn't collapse. That is a unique building. And right here where the river flows north here, and then this is where the river flows south. And we're going through. Now I would suggest you, if you have a chance, go to an architectural tour here. And the tour guide does way better than I do when it comes to the history of Chicago. But this is a history. Look at this. Oh, ignore that. I don't know what happened there. As we're going through here, and we are going by. Okay, I don't know what happened here neither. And we are going by the Willis Tower. That is the Willis Tower right here. We were up there earlier today at the sky deck. You see the light shining up there. But that is the Willis Tower. And guys, this concludes the end of our Chicago stop. I really hope you guys enjoyed our stop here. You guys learned a few things or two. We did a lot of walking. I hope you guys, your feet's not hurting. Hope you guys wore your gym shoes and stuff, because we were doing a lot of walking. And that is Chicago. A very nice, beautiful city, but not beautiful crime rate. And as we're making our way back here, I'm gonna catch you guys at O'Hare International Airport, because we will be on our way out. Well, we will actually go stop at our next destination, and our next city is gonna be Las Vegas. Super excited for that. I love going to Vegas. I just love walking down the street, the strips. I'm sorry. I just love walking down the strip in Vegas. And that's where I'm catching you guys. So remember, Tang Airline, let our unqualified pilots take you places. I'll see you guys at O'Hare. So, signing out. Peace.